Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Pisces season, water season. I don't want to say too much because actually I'm getting a feeling that this month is going to be very simple in spite of all the complications. And the answer is the most simple thing. No, it might not be the easiest, but it's the most simple. It's the one that requires the least amount of work. Queen of Coins came out. This is the grounding energy that we're all really needing. And it's like, yes, we have so much water going on. Yes, we have so much earth going on. Mars and Taurus and all that. So it's like grounded to earth and grounded to the bottom of the ocean. There's like two levels of anchoring and tetheredness going on here. This is us keeping our head above water and how we interact with the world and how we interact with other people practically, calmly, in a relaxed, Capricorn-y kind of manner. Try not to be too sarcastic. Might not be handled very well this month. People are going to jump to conclusions and they're going to be all in their imaginations and they're going to be making assumptions and all of this. So you just don't need to play those games. You have so many wonderful things going for you, all these goals and things that you've been working on. Like, just keep planting those seeds because I know that you're starting to see the fruit blossom. You might not really be able to pick the fruit yet, but the blossoms are coming. Spring is coming right here. We're in Vegas. It's starting to warm up. March is always like one of the best times of years. And then we move into April and May. And that's really when it starts all coming back to life. Making our way into summertime. And keep your eye on the ball. You can be indoors. You can be introverted. I don't see any reason why not. I don't see any reason why that would be a bad thing. Death. A reminder that, first of all, it's not really about a death and rebirth cycle, but more so of the impermanence of everything. And where you are and who you're with and the connections that you have and the goals that you have and the amount of money that you have and your social circle and all of that, it's all under revision. It's all being reinvented right now. And while you may have a significant other that you love and you're married to them and you're not going anywhere, the nature of those relationships is changing. If you're totally single, you yourself are evolving so that you can attract the proper kind of person. Any professional mobility. Please do not get married to where you are professionally. Please do not get too comfortable. Life is full of surprises, and you're heading into one. It's not going to happen this month. Okay, it's not going to happen this month, but it is going to happen. And when that Ace of Wands comes, you'll be kind of thrown into a state of reconsideration. Really thinking about what it is you need to do and what it is you're really wanting to accomplish in this life. Now is actually a time to, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want you to misinterpret this because that's a thing this month. So when I say let go of hope, I don't mean be hopeless and be pessimistic, but to really step off the hopeful and hopeless polarity altogether, to sort of transcend that duality. Because when you find yourself in hope, you find yourself projecting into the future, which takes away from your current moment. Takes away from what's happening around you in this very instance. And death is a reminder that this moment Every moment is continually being birthed and dying over and over and over and over. Don't lose what you have for sure. And what you have for sure is right now. And the Ace of Wands is coming for you. There is no doubt about it. You don't have to sit around and wait for it, though. You don't have to sit around and think about what it is, because it's not going to be what you think it is. That's a waste. It's not going to be how you think it's going to be. It never is. Rarely. Sometimes it is. Rarely is it. Let the things come to you. I was reading something this week, and it was talking about how we see the world and how we so often sit and direct our eyes toward things. You know, we look at the trees, we look at the cars, we look at the people in front of us, we look. This is a very masculine way of experiencing the world, which there's nothing wrong with that. It serves a purpose. But rarely do we tap into the feminine way, which is to just sit, soften your eyes, kind of like in the 90s, you know, with those like computer generated paintings, and you would like fuzzy your eyes and then the picture would come into formation. To soften your eyes and let the world look at you, and to observe the world observing you. Pisces season is perfect for stuff like that. The Neptunian quality coming through is all about illusions, and it's all about paradigm shifts, and it's all about awakening and Christ consciousness and true understanding. And you, I think with the trining water aspect, you deeply understand the way that feels. And the reason why I'm saying all of this, what did I say about projecting into the future? That's what those swords are doing, right? They're pointing in the future direction. And you'll see when they're pointing to the right when I lay them down, they're pointing to the future. Future is irrelevant in so many ways. I'm probably going to become more and more controversial with my extraordinary unpopular teachings as I'm studying Tantra and Buddhism, like really deep studies going on right now. And it's hard sometimes because you're like, wait, you're supposed to have ambitions. Wait, you're supposed to have goals. Aren't you supposed to be planning? Aren't you supposed to thinking about your finances? You're supposed to think about this and that, and you're supposed to like have insurance in case you get into a car accident and da 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 da. And it's like, I mean, you can, but then you're just wasting a lot. And I could go into that. I'm probably going to go do a whole podcast on that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's what this Nine of Swords, right? When you're so worried about stuff, but see, you have to like look like you're still just sitting in bed. You're all stressed out about whatever, but you're just sitting in bed. Think about your breathing. Don't worry about what that other person is doing. Don't worry about what that other person thinks, what that other person feels. Don't worry about what's going on in the middle of the night when everyone's asleep. Like, don't worry about tomorrow. It's easier said than done. I get it, especially for a Cancer. I get it. But chances are it's all just fake. It's not even real. Nothing of that stuff is real. And what's really happening when you find yourself in a Nine of Swords state is the High Priestess comes out and says, you're crossing the veil. Pisces season dissolves the veil between the conscious and the unconscious worlds, right? The conscious realm and the ethereal realm. It's like she's almost like standing up and holding back that veil and is like, by all means, proceed. Like, go back there, go see what's back in the closet, go see what's in the other spaces, right? Like, go check it out, because you kind of need to know how insignificant all this stuff is. You need to know how insignificant it is that this person doesn't love you back. If they were to love you in the way that you wanted to be loved, it would just kind of be contributing to a problem of some bad emotion, validation, ego stuff. And I think what's happening is you're stripping yourself down and down and down to a very deep reality. Very deep reality of your consciousness, right? Who are you really? What matters really? A lot of people have been simplifying their lives. Saturn conjunct Pluto, that's what happens. We simplify our lives. We eliminate belief systems and structures. We eliminate these swords. The people that cling to these swords, right? Like it's their source of life. Please don't leave me, thoughts. Please don't leave me, ego. Without my personality, I don't know who I am. And they cling to it and they grasp to it. So when they're doing this and they're not fluid, they're going to get hit really hard continually, especially when Pluto and Saturn start going retrograde. Right? And then when they come conjunct, it's going to be like a whole like, oh dear God. But the more you flow, and here's Pisces season, right? It's foreshadowing. Flow. Because you're going to need to know how to flow next year. Or for the course of this whole year, you're going to need to know how to flow. And learn. Examine. Take your hands off your eyes and look those swords dead in the face. What are you really afraid of? Are you afraid of being alone? Are you afraid of not having any money? Are you afraid of being homeless? Are you afraid of pissing off your parents? Are you afraid of losing a child? Like, what are you really afraid of and why? Why? You're here on this planet to do some exceptional pattern breaking. The awakening is a beautiful opportunity to break karmic chains and karmic cycles. So if you want to break those cycles, you have to do the dirty work. You have to get in the trenches. You have to get in the battlefield. You have to. Right? You have to let stuff go. Sorry, it doesn't focus very well. This is waiting for you to do that. I'm saying, Cancer, make space. I can't come in when there's all this stuff going on. I can't bring you new love. I can't bring you new business ventures. I can't bring you more money. I can't do this. I can't do that when you're so afraid of not having it. If you're afraid of not having it, then I'm not going to give it to you, because what happens when you get it and then maybe you lose it? Like, oh dear God. Like, the universe is protecting you by not giving you this right now. It's protecting you. But maybe it's time for you to stand up and say, I don't want to be protected. Break me down. And it's not really that bad, right? All this Pisces stuff is trining your sign. It's trining your suns, your ascendants, your moons. I mean, this is a beautiful aspect, meaning it's not really that destructive. It's not really that bad. It's not at all. Is this you? Or someone else? I'm getting Scorpio energies coming out here. A lot of Scorpio energy. Interesting. Water stuff. I often see this as very Cancerian and Scorpionic. Okay, so we're kind of getting Cancer, Scorpio. We're getting a card of Scorpio, another card of Scorpio. Okay. So backs turned to one another. Still here. Feminine polarities or elements, right? Water and earth. A feminine and masculine balance, queen and king. Good people, different kinds of people. One, what did I say? Two forms of grounding. One kind of anchor to the earth and another kind of anchor to the bottom of the ocean. So maybe the king represents your bottom of the ocean, the emotions, connected heavily with this. Although I think, I don't know. You know, I mostly read for women, although it's, you know, there's also a lot of men that watch my readings too. But in general, it can go both ways, but I'm just going to, you know, like females, males, right? So if you're dealing with a man specifically, romantic, family, partnership, colleague, whatever, clearly those swords are pointing directly at them. And you are like, what the heck is going on with them? What are they thinking? What do they want? What do they want from me? What do they want from this partnership? What do they want from this connection? What did I say? The connections themselves are changing. I think everyone's handling it well. I don't think it's really that intense. Like I said, it's really not that intense. I know I'm saying all this really high level, big, intense kind of stuff, but the feeling of it is more smooth. It's not so ragged. But there's still a lot of questions. And a King of Cups can be a big fat question mark a lot of times when you think of the Scorpionic archetype, when anyone has this kind of energy, whether they're a Leo or a Aquarius, whatever their sign is, when they come out this way, you know there's so much more going on below the surface, especially you, Cancer, because you've got that whole like depth quality and intuitive quality to you. So you can see it and you can feel it, but I think in many ways it bothers you because you can't access it. Because they're like a vault. And while I don't see anyone acting out in an immature way, I'm not seeing actual arguments, I'm not seeing actual discussions, probably for the best, Mercury retrograde. You know, people's silence, people's ghosting, all that kind of stuff, like really don't fight that stuff. If they ghost you, it's for the best. If they're going cold on you, it's for the best. Just step up and do your thing. Don't worry about it. Don't give anybody your energy. Especially if they're... See, this isn't like... What I mean, don't give people your energy. Like, obviously, please give your kids your energy, right? Please give your amazing significant other that you love to the nth degree. Please give them your energy. But don't give energy to people who are locking you out. Don't do that. It becomes a burden. It becomes strife. It becomes worry, additional anxiety. And you're already dealing with enough. What is it about this person? What is it that you need from them or you think you need? Anything that hurts must be examined, because once you start understanding like where that hurt comes from, it makes it so much easier to let it go. I'm not telling you to look those swords in the face for fun. I'm telling it so you cannot have them anymore. Three of Cups reversed. Okay. I'm just going to say it, this will not apply to most of you. But if you are overindulging, especially in alcohol or any kind of medications, be cognizant of how much you are consuming. It's called spirits for a reason, right? We all know the story behind that. Be careful of your alcohol intake, any other kind of thing, even like sugar, caffeine, those kinds of things. You know, keep your body as purified as possible. Things are serious. I know that it kind of probably feels like the party's not really going, and anything where there was a lot of fun. I always say that this is like one of those stupid teen movies, you know, where the parents go out for the weekend and the kids decide to throw a big party and it gets really out of hand and really crazy and the cops come, and this is the moment when the parents come home and then you got to clean up the party, right? This is that moment. It gets serious. It gets real. It's like back to reality. And so wherever there was any kind of illusion, that's what this whole reading is really circulating around, is breaking the fantasy, breaking the little dreams and the little things, and not in a bad way. It's not bad. I feel like such a Debbie Downer when I say stuff like that, but I hope you understand how that's to your benefit. It's for liberation. You know, it's for freedom. It's for an uncomplicated life. It's for creativity and allowing things to flow. It's to invite, you know, really positive sexual experiences into your life, you know, healing sexual experiences. It's for inspiration and finding a muse and becoming one and merging with life. The Nine of Swords keeps us from living our life. You may come to a point of needing some kind of a decision. It's really hard to make decisions right now. Just all together, Mercury retrograde makes it weird, okay? As Venus comes into Aquarius, there's all levels of idealism going on. Uranus coming back into Taurus, our grounding will be shaken. And again, that's why the anchoring to the earth is important. We seem entangled in something. Often I see that infinity sign that connects two clearly separate entities. Clearly two separate entities. And yet you are connected. You are entangled. I've actually kind of let go a little bit. Again, something I'll talk about on my podcast. I'm not trying to do like shameless plug. There's not enough time here to really go into some of these like super high level concepts. But the entanglement idea and coming here to learn lessons specifically, I don't know, I'm kind of loosening my grip on that idea. Are we really here to learn lessons? Are we really here to learn how to get along with someone? You know, if there's going to be a lesson, the lesson's going to be self-awareness. The lesson's going to be how to get out of our ego, how to get out of our mind, how to direct thought, and how to control and separate ourselves from thought, from emotion, from our bodies even. And I think this person challenges you in that way. And it's not a lesson in like how to make it work. It's a lesson about you. It's about who you are behind your personality and who they are behind their personality. It is my opinion, again, my opinion, for whatever that's worth, that any two people can have an extraordinary connection. Any two people. No matter culture, beliefs, nationality, language, doesn't matter. As long as they know how to transcend their personality and connect with another person on the other side of that. To look beyond it. Personality is what makes it hard, though. Personality is what tears people apart. Personality and ego is what puts barriers and boundaries between people. So change is slow. Swift action toward the future. It's going to be a challenge, but it could happen, you know. It will happen in Aries season, Taurus season. A lot will start moving. You'll feel probably really stuck throughout the course of March, probably feeling that now with the sun building up to the Neptune conjunction. And it's just a matter of watching it happen. I don't know that this is a month that you need to assert any level of control. It's not a month that you need to try to do or to get anything. It's not a good month for that. Pisces, don't forget, is the sign of our undoing. That's why I'm talking about ego. I'm not just trying to be a psychologist or whatever. That's the archetype. That's the vibe. Oops, let me move this. Okay. I have a new deck, the Thoth deck, which is a super, super famous deck. And I decided to use it to kind of just get additional information before we pull the clarifiers for the comprehensive. So, Knight of Wands. Card of Sagittarius. What else? Six of Wands, a card of victory. This is a card of movement and action, very contradictory to these things here. Now, you may be dealing with someone like that, okay? This is a really tough kind of vibe for a Cancer. They are extraordinarily adventurous. They are slippery. They're tough to hang on to, but they're really fun and they're really loving, and they do seem to be coming into the reading. Now, kind of feel like it's both someone else. In a way, it's almost like it's someone else that you admire. And there's something about them and their sort of idea of life that can or should be incorporated into your own life philosophy. I'll clarify it. I'll pull more cards. Six of Wands. It even says victory on the card. What more can I say? It's a card of victory. This month will be triumphant for you. What I mean, when I say triumphant, I mean you will leave Pisces season feeling amazing. You will leave Pisces season feeling at a whole new level of understanding of who you are. That's what death brings. Death brings knowledge. That's why, right? From the Scorpio archetype into the Sagittarian archetype, where the knowledge of truth occurs through Scorpio, and then it can be used and enjoyed in Sagittarius, which is why it's such an optimistic sign, right? Scorpio being very oppressed, very much under a lot of intensity and stress, and then Sagittarius breaks free. This is a message of liberation, plain and simple, from that. Letting go of how much you care, not in a bad way, right? Letting go of how much you need anyone or anything, really tapping into that self-reliance of yours, which we all know you're amazing at, really tapping into your path and not holding anyone else responsible for your happiness. So let's look at these cards now. Let's do the clarifiers. So these are going to be the cards that I'll be talking about in the comprehensive reading, okay? So we'll just kind of pull them out. There's a lot. I pull out almost half the deck. Queen of Coins. Okay. 10 of Coins and 5 of Coins came out. Interesting. A lot of coins, a lot of earth energy. All right. So Death. Let's look at the Death card. Another King. These are actually Leo cards here. We'll talk about the Leo self-expression, the pride of Leo, the positive manifestation of pride, self-honor, stepping into the absolute royal throne of awareness. Yes, I will call it a throne, because it is. The oppression of the change. Not too foreign, since you guys have had the Pluto opposition going on for several years now. Another Knight of Wands. You don't feel free. No one else can give you freedom, Cancer. That is a gift you must give yourself. Logistics to that are more simple than you think. We'll talk about that. And when I say freedom, even if you're trying, I know that most people watch these for romance stuff, even though there's tons of career and all that, but if you're single, it's freedom from the loneliness. Not necessarily freedom from the loneliness by finding someone either. Well, then I say that and I get the Two of Cups. Will shut me up. This is what happens when Jane speaks before she pulls the cards. Okay, High Priestess we'll talk about. Okay, that's fine. Talk about Three of Cups. Six of Wands reversed, so both Six of Wands. Oh, 2 cards of balance. Interesting. It will be an adjustment period. Pisces season is probably all going to be about adjustment. Queen of Coins coming out twice. Great. Wonderful message with that. 9 of Swords coming out twice. 3 of Cups coming out twice. Okay. Knight of Wands. Let's see. Okay. I'm actually really happy for you. This whole year, this year specifically, 2020, it's like a whole new you. And you thought that after 2018, that's what we thought. Whole new year, whole new you, whole new thing. You haven't even seen the best of what you've got. Okay. That's what we'll be talking about in the comprehensive. So it was big. It's always big with me. I like talking about more spiritual stuff. What can I say? So that's it. All right, you guys. I'm going to leave you with that. If you want to join me in the website, of course, I'll be happy to have you there. But if not, then I will see you next month. All right. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.